I started watching anime in early 2013, and in that 3.5 years, I've seen more anime than I have accumulated Western TV since I was a kid watching Nickelodeon. I've given genres I never would have thought of a chance, like romance, harem, and fast food. But as someone who's tried to convince others to give the medium a shot, I know there's a stigma and I know there's resistance. And let's face it, there are anime you don't want to show to someone if you want them to watch more. But since there's so much good that American audiences have ignored because it's animated, these are my top 9 gateway anime series. Why top 9? Because I seriously couldn't think of a 10th. I'm sorry, Ghost Stories Dub, but I couldn't convince myself you'd be a good starting point. The only rule is I have to have seen the series, because what's the point of personally vouching for a show I've never seen? This is also all my opinion. Your list could be entirely different. And finally, I'd like to apologize in advance that this video is going to be all still images. Copyright's a bitch.
Avatar isn't an anime, yeah, I know, that's why it's at the bottom. But you know what it is? Awesome! And shares so much in common with a lot of action anime, not just the art style. The fighting, mix of comedy, darker themes, and harsh moments, it became a classic of Western animation for its quality, so it comes recommended based solely on that. And it's a pretty safe bet that if you enjoyed this, you've probably also got the taste to enjoy a lot of anime, especially... well, I won't spoil the name, it's further up the list. Of course, this brings the challenge of recommending a show specifically made for kids when everything else here is a little more adult, but let its placement on IMDb's top-rated shows speak for itself. There's a specific subgenre of anime colloquially known as cute girls doing cute things, slice-of-life shows starring school-age girls doing things school-age girls do. It's certainly a specific taste, but there's one I honestly think has more appeal than the rest, and that's Lucky Star. To set the tone, the first episode opens with a conversation about confectionery that's longer than this video. It's a better show about nothing than Seinfeld. Or maybe I can just relate to this one because I'm a NEET who spends all his time on the computer. Like Kanata, but more responsible. This one only scrapes onto the part of the list with actual anime because, as Lucky Star fans will tell you, this show references other anime all the damn time. I'm still willing to put it on because I don't get any of them and I still like the show. Not for everyone, but I think more people would like this than they think. It's a common point the average onlooker brings up about superheroes like Superman. Why should we care about their struggles if they're so strong we know they'll win? Well, because sometimes you get One Punch Man. True, it's mostly a parody of power creep shonen anime, so some of the commentary is lost on newcomers, but I think its satire of ultra-powerful heroes applies just as much to comic heroes like the aforementioned Superman. And there's no reason non-anime fans can't laugh at Saitama's quirkiness or legitimately enjoy the action and heartfelt moments. Everyone in the world should see Moomin Rider. Attack on Titan was a huge hit when the anime premiered late 2013, grabbing the attention of non-anime watchers as it became a massive success. Which is why it's taken almost 4 years for a season 2. So clearly Attack on Titan deserves a spot. Right? Well, I was considering it, but if I'm being fair, I should give the spot to Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress. It's almost exactly the same as Attack on Titan with all its complaints, but I liked it a little more. Or maybe that's just my bias towards trains. It's not perfect, I'd actually consider it the most flawed show on the list, but it's been proven that this formula gets attention, which is a pretty rare confirmation for this countdown. I wasn't sure whether I should put 2 superhero anime on the list, but My Hero Academia is too excellent to pass up. This isn't the first story about a powerless person wanting to become a hero, but the resolve Deku has to fight for justice is inspiring. This show also holds the record for fastest anything has made me cry in the first episode. I know it's not that hard to get me to tear up. I did cry at an episode of Squid Girl, but I always have more respect for anything that can get an emotional response like that. I rank it higher than One Punch Man because it relies less on comedy with every hero working hard for the fight, so I think it's a little more accessible. Rejoice, superhero fans, the day has come. This hurts me. It hurts me to not rank Gurren Lagann as number 1 on any list. This is my favorite show of all time. It changed my life, gave me an ideal to work towards, the strength to go through even the toughest moments of life. It means so much to me, but I do have to make this list a little bit objective, and that's where I have to admit, the casual watcher may not find its absolute over-the-top complete ridiculousness appealing. But I really don't care. As more of a personal entry, I could not live with myself if I didn't recommend Simone's manly spirit to everyone, because I think it's something everyone can or should relate to. And if it means someone new can see the same thing I did, I'll talk about this show every time. Space Dandy is the easiest anime to make a recommendation for, not just because it's great, but because it has a Western counterpart, Futurama. They're not exactly the same, but I consider Space Dandy and Futurama cousin shows. If you like one, you'll probably like the other. Futurama was already a massive hit, so all you have to do is go up to someone still going through cancellation withdrawal and give them Space Dandy. Most will agree it's a positively dandy replacement. Full Metal Alchemist. Which one? Doesn't matter. Both of them are good and have the same kind of hopefully mass appeal. If you have to choose one, I thought Brotherhood was better, but that's a very subjective and arguable opinion. Watch whichever one better appeals to you. Both of them have great characters, comedy that usually doesn't detract from the high stakes and grotesque backdrops, a few teary scenes, and action that's exhilarating while remaining in the grounded confines of this world's science. And if you need something meaty, it's the longest show on this list if you're watching Brotherhood, over 60 episodes and a movie. Add another 50 in movie if you watch both adaptations. I can't even think of anything clever to close it off with, it's just fucking good.
Like most people in the YouTube top 10 business, I'm putting my honorable mentions right before the grand finale. Both of these earn the spot of, you should probably look into it. Trigun and Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex. Why didn't they make it onto the list proper? Well, I haven't seen either of them yet. I hear they're both great, so they're probably worth checking out, but I can't say anything concrete. However, I am planning to watch them both when I have the chance, so that counts for something, right?
All the anime fans watching this to hear my opinions, you knew what number one was going to be as soon as you saw the title. It's been a pillar of the medium in English-speaking countries ever since its debut in the late 90s. It's simply a masterpiece. It's the one and only Cowboy Bebop. I can't even say anything about it. I'd just ramble about how good it was for hours. So instead of me talking about it, look at all the people, now loyal anime fans, who cite Cowboy Bebop as not only one of their firsts, but their favorites. It's dramatic, it's funny, it's touching, it's very smart, incredibly written, perfectly performed, wonderfully animated, and backed by a truly magnificent soundtrack. But I think the best thing I can say when a gateway to anime is the subject is that it's mature. Isn't that the reason so many people write this stuff off, because they see it's animated and conclude it's for kids? Well, as a huge animation fan, I've never been happier to watch an adult's show.
So, everyone who's been on the fence about watching anime, I hope you take these suggestions to heart. I know I didn't go into that much detail about their plots, not just because I need to keep this video a certain length, but because I want you to do the research, find the shows you think you'd like on your own terms. Maybe nothing here will appeal to you, but I hope you at least give anime a shot, because there really is so much to offer. And, ending the video the only way I can now. Bang! And by the way, these videos have anime authority. I asked for an Azure Striker Gumball anime a few months ago, and now we're getting an OVA. Thanks for listening, Intercreates. Also, in the same video, while I was asking for her TOEFL boyfriend, I did mention Nekopara in the segment, and there's a Kickstarter now.
Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing. I'm also a part of a Let's Play channel you can check out if we ever upload, or you can look at my Twitter account where I've posted some strange things. I'm probably working on the next video now, so stay tuned.